About 12:10 in the afternoon, and Logan Allen stands ready to roll. And the first pitch of Pool A here on this beautiful Friday afternoon is in there for a called strike, and we are underway at 12:11 in the afternoon local time with an 0-1 count to Roel Santos. Formula because of all the different permutations with defensive runs allowed and runs scored as a called strike three freezes Santos for out number one here in the first inning. And we are underway at here on Bithorn Stadium. Trying to provide a spark for Cuba out of the two spot in the lineup, and unable to hold up there as he is rung up by Tomoya Ishiyama, our home plate umpire today, and back-to-back strikeouts for Logan Allen to start things in the first.
And this is a good start. A couple of reasons. Number one, look, we're going to talk a lot, Tyler. We talked a lot about this in 2023.
Short lead over at first for Martinez, and a swing and a miss on the 2-2. Logan Allen strikes out the side, not in order as he gives up the two-out single. We're headed to the bottom of the first. Cuba gone scoreless. While SoftBank winning the Japan Series in 5 of the last 6 seasons, and for Moinello last year, an MVP campaign. It's a bouncing ball right side will turn into not out number one as the flip a little bit behind Moinello, wrapping around the bag at first, digging for second. Speed kills right on cue. Alan Cordoba takes advantage of the error, and he's in scoring position.
And Tyler, we're at day one, inning number one. But this play, we might be looking back at this, especially as we're moving on, as we get deep into this pool play. Why? Because these runs are going to come at a premium, and we know with Panama, they may not have the big offensive threat like some of these other teams, but speed is going to be a huge weapon for them.
Alan Cordoba, 70 stolen bases in 2025 with here in the bottom of one, and swings and can't get a piece of that one from Moinello, and there is strikeout number one for the lefty. That's a big bounce back out in the first inning.
It really is. And one thing too, when you do make that transition from the bullpen into the rotation, you can take some of these moments right here where you are on the ropes.
He hasn't had to break out the curveball yet. Shows you the depth of the rest of his arsenal. A throw down to third with Cordoba on the way, and he is caught stealing. Cordoba wants his dugout to take a look at this as Mayorga, the manager, will look down the dugout bench to see if Panama will request a review.
He didn't get a great jump either. Look, Moinello was pretty predictable going to the plate. His timing didn't change his timing up at all. So he knew Cordoba at some point was going to get going. We're going to get another look. Oh, it looks like he got that hand underneath, but
yeah, Panama's not going to challenge that.
All right.
For Jose Mayorga and for additional bats to get into this lineup. Amaya bouncing ball over to third where Moncada gobbles it up. And the error and walk do no damage in the first. Scoreless through one, headed to the top of the second in San Juan. Classic appearance for Guibert, who plays in the Mexican League in his summertime with Guasave. He laces this one down the right field line. That is hooking toward the corner, and that ball is gone! It sneaks out on a rope over the right field fence, and Yoelkis Guibert has connected with run number one for Cuba. It's a 1-0 lead in the top of the second.
We still talked about Logan Allen unable to beat you with that fastball. Guibert gets a 2-0 count. So he is hunting, gets a pitch middle in. Doesn't miss it.
League different from Liga Mexicana.
Yeah, he saw his eyes light up right there when he saw something straight. And look, Logan Allen, we talked about the difference in the month of March compared to the month of July. One weapon.
Ground ball over to third where Edmundo Sosa will put out Lionel Moas, and that'll bring us to the end of the second. But the first home run of the WBC career of Yoelkis Guibert gives Cuba a 1-0 lead. And the thing that gives Herman Mesa, is the opportunity to start Livan Moinello twice. We asked him about that yesterday, and he said, yeah, we're definitely going to do that. As the leadoff man, Yidi Cape, the Marlins prospect, shoots one into left, rounding first, digging for second, pulled out quickly there by Cordoba, and the throw not in time as Cape got the hand in for a leadoff double.
And the throw definitely beat him. We may see a challenge right here coming out of the dugout, but cut this ball off. Really good throw on the bounce. Look at Cuba, man, being aggressive.
Yeah, what a slide by Cobb. He won a batting title in the Appalachian League. As a bunt down, first base side by Santos. Great play by Allen to get to it, and the glove flip is out number one. Successful sacrifice. What a play by Logan Allen bouncing off the mound. Not easy as a lefty, as you know.
It's not, because you're bouncing off the third base side of the mound. Not only that, look, you're in a situation now where you're facing this team second time through. We know Santos is going to do this. They can take you by surprise that first pitch, especially when you're trying to get back into the strike zone after giving up that double. But man, what a play. Look at this. Didn't have time to transfer that to the throwing hand, straight out of the glove.
Yeah, with my first and second hitters and my eighth and ninth hitters. And so far, as Moncada swings and crushes one high and deep and way out of here to left field. And Cuba tacks on two more. It's a 3-0 lead in the third.
Tyler, we talked about this in the Open, that day one, you don't have time to get in the rhythm. Yoan Moncada in 2023, it took him a couple days because he was going to be a big impact bat for Cuba in 2023. Then he just absolutely went off. Wasted no time, made that nice play in the last inning, barehanded. Now he had that big WBC, you're thinking that's going to be a launching pad. Struggled that year.
Shot back up the middle into center field. Martinez has his second hit in 2 trips. And a one-out base runner at first for Cuba.
So we talked about from Logan Allen, you're going to see more of the secondary pitches. Yoan Moncada did such a good job. This is a changeup 3-1. And he was sitting on something soft. Jumped out in front and hit that ball into the left field seats.
But I noticed on his spikes yesterday, that U is not there, as a swing and a miss will put him down here in the third, and we will head to the bottom of the third. But a 2-run blast by Yoan Moncada makes this a 3-0 lead for Cuba as we head to the bottom of the third inning in San Juan. Obviously, the leash is going to be somewhat tight today with the pitch restrictions and everything else, but this is a very comfortable position for him to be in, although it's leadoff extra bases out of the gate here in the bottom of the third, as Jose Ramos will get his team sparked with a leadoff double down the right field line.
And that's huge. Moinello, we saw in that second inning, he was starting to fall into that rhythm where he's getting that weak contact. The Panamanian team had been starting to show how aggressive they are. You're going to start seeing a little bit more of that chase. But Ramos just driving this ball into right field. Panama now all of a sudden in business.
He's also got a fascinating story, does Bradfield. Swings and misses. We'll talk about that the next time we see him. Third strikeout for Moinello.
They just had the 2 digits on the radar gun out on the scoreboard.
Called strike 3 on Cordoba, freezes in there. 2 gone for Edmundo Sosa.
Again, that curveball second time through the lineup. Now all of a sudden you're going to, and as he starts to get that good feel, you see that depth on that pitch. Look, this is a pitch he wasn't landing. Now all of a sudden, he's got that 3,000 plus RPM. It's 3 digits. It's 100. We just don't have the 3 digits up on the scoreboard. And the Aussie hitters are like, whoa, man, we've never seen that.
Swinging a ground ball left side as Maruja Barwena makes the play to first. I got it that time. 3-0, Cuba leads it as we head to the fourth in San Juan. It's at the Taipei Dome, which is a gorgeous facility in the center of Taiwan's capital city, as the leadoff man, Jose Caballero, will do it the hard way. Takes the first pitch off the left arm, and he's aboard.
And we flashed up Panama versus Chinese Taipei. That was night 1 in front of the home crowd in Taiwan. Nearly mercy rule to see Caballero taking one off the elbow guard. Plenty of those the last couple of years. Now, one thing we've seen with Jose Caballero too, the ability to mess with pitches on the mound.
Ground ball left side. Moncada to second for 1. On to first. 5-4-3, and the leadoff hit by pitch is erased.
And that is huge from Moinello. We talked about these teams just trying to generate something. Caballero, who could mess with you a little bit on the mound, try and swipe a base, get in your head a little bit. We've seen that the last couple of years. And that is a huge double play as you're at the top of the lineup here for Panama.
Not only that, but it keeps the pitch count down for Moinello. 7 strikes of his first 54 pitches. He does now need 4 days rest, but as we noted, that was the plan for Cuba, as a liner to left center field. Just the second hit of the day for Panama, but a 2-out base runner here in the bottom of the fourth.
And again, how big was that ground ball double play? See Bernal just smack one, find some outfield grass. Just tip your cap to that. Just a little hanging breaking ball. You know what? No one on, 2 out. We'll take it. Just press the reset button.
From the stretch, trying to get himself and his team back into the dugout. Instead, issues a 4-pitch walk to Leonardo Jimenez. And now, with 2 gone, the tying run will come to the plate here in the 4th. But had played in Japan for 3 seasons and then joined the Blue Jays as a fly ball to center field. Will bring in Santos, who is there for the final out. And that does put a stop to the rally. 3-0. Cuba's got the lead over Panama as we go to the 5th. 2-run homer to give his team a little bit of breathing room, make it a 3-0 game. I am really excited to see this Canada team as Cape is aboard for the 2nd time in his 2 trips. Holds on the 3-2, and that is ball 4. Cienfuegos deals. Martinez shoots it right center field, tracking it Bradfield toward the alleyway. It's Ramos, though, who will get there first and put it away. Both runners will tag. The throw to second is in time to get Moncada. What a peg from right field, and a garden variety 9-6 putout wraps up the frame. Led off by the official anthem of the 2026 Classic, Make It Count, featuring Becky G and South Korean singer Yeonjun, along with Mike Towers, as a leadoff knock for Leo Bernal gets things started for Panama. The first base runner to reach for Panama since the 2-out walk to Leonardo Jimenez in the 4th inning. And you got to get it started sometime, Ryan, and that is hit number 3 today for the home team in game number 1.
Yeah, get something going. They have been flat pitching.
For Panama right now, it's got to be about just stringing together base runners. As Bernal off from first, and he is in there as that ball skips away from Hernandez. So an easy swipe for Leo Bernal. Not a guy who's going to steal a whole lot of bases, but Bernal puts himself in scoring position.
And look, I know it's the 7th inning. We've talked about that offense going cold, but you see Bernal taking off. You're starting to see some things in action now because you've got Muñoz well out of this game. Yairo Rodriguez, the 2 big arms from this Cuban team. Now you can really take advantage of Chapman and some of that command. You can get him rattled a little bit, get something going. None out here in the 7th.
Man, and this after 2 1/3 perfect innings from Yairo Rodriguez. Ground ball over to Cape at second. That'll advance the runner, and the potential first tally of the day for Panama now 90 feet away. That, but no ABS. 3-2. Camargo left side through for a base hit. It's an RBI single for Yohan Camargo. Panama has broken through. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's such a good at-bat. Look, you go down 3-0, you can see him shaking his head. Wasn't going to commit to any of these pitches outside the strike zone. And then he still gets deep in the count, knowing he's going to get something to hit 3-2, and doesn't try and do too much with it. This pitch is just out and away. Lets that ball get a little deeper. And sprays that ball into left field. Panama's on the board.
We get a visit to the pitcher's mound from Jesus Bosmenier, and this is an interesting situation that Cuba is facing, Ryan, because Pedro Lazo, their normal pitching coach and a Cuban baseball legend in his own right, did not receive a visa to accompany this team. Ground ball over to third. Moncada will just go across the diamond to get the batter runner, so Ramos is gone. It will move the pinch runner into scoring position. 2006, when Cuba made it all the way to the final under Eugenio Velez, the manager, as that one into the dirt, breaking from second. Santos is in at third. Aggressive base running, and Panama has another run 90 feet away.
Now, usually you don't want to be trying to swipe bags here, but you can see this read. Usually you're going to hold up with 2 outs, but saw that ball in the dirt, about 55 feet. Nice little jump getting in there.
So big pitch coming up here. 3-1 on the way to Bethencourt, and a ground ball over to Moncada at third. Fields it in fair territory. Throw is on target and on time, and that will do it for Panama's rally in the 7th. But the home team brings home 1, and we got a 2-run game going to the 8th.
Kyle Schwarber on a Sunday night game against the Phillies.
Cordoba, bouncer left side. Another tough play over there for Moncada, but got a good hop and run away. Great hustle by Alan Cordoba, but he is retired for the leadoff out.
Yeah, and you can see him pressing too, right? Cordoba trying to dive head first into the bag. It's just that pressing, right? And everyone can say, well, it's faster to run through the base, but psychologically, you just have that feeling, right? It starts in the dugout too. You see this little ground ball. I feel like if we can just get that extra step, that extra foot, dive into first base.
By the way, they did a Mythbusters episode in which they determined that head first slide into first base is fast. You're out of here, kid. Go throw baseballs. Sosa down the left field line. Extra bases if this one gets down, which it does. Sosa will dig into second, and he's got himself a one-out double. Man, great play out there by Lionel Moaz to make that closer at second base, but a birthday knock for Edmundo Sosa. And he's got himself in scoring position, and the tying run will bat here in the 8th again, now in the person of Jose Caballero.
They got that bat head out, drive that ball down that left field line. Now all of a sudden the top of this lineup starting to wake up a little bit, spin on and get to 3-2.
Lopez deals, and a bouncer over too short. Arua Barreno will go for the lead man, and he's got him at third. Sosa with that bouncer basically hit right at him on the extended lead, takes off, and he is erased. It's a runner at first now with 2 gone.
That's a nice play too. Look, it's so easy for Riverina just to take that extra breath and just make that easy out there at first base. We're just seeing plenty of daylight between Sosa and third base and getting that lead running just as quick as you felt like something was starting to move with this offense for Team Panama. Now all of a sudden that's so deflating.
Aru's left side, great stab by Moncada, and that will do it for Panama's 8th. The one-out double does no damage, and we are going to the 9th in a 3-1 game. The best closer in Nippon professional baseball in Raidel Martinez.
He was so impressive when we got a chance to watch him in 2023.
He's got a leadoff ground ball out on a 3-1 putout. Leo Bernal is gone. In December of 2024, 4 years, $32.5 million with the Yomiuri Giants. And the 2-2 is on the ground right side again. A lot of late swings here in the first couple of looks at Raidel Martinez, and 2 gone. Cuba 1 out away from a day 1 victory. Martinez on the way. And a cold strike 3 wraps up game 1. Cuba with 2 big flies in the early going. And the 3 runs hold up. The final 13 hitters to the plate from Cuba's offense retired in order. But it doesn't matter as they're into the winner's circle in their first contest this 2026 Classic.